I mean, I try not to give price projections, and I know you always pin them out of me, but the point being is, we're very public on social media, and it's just people pin their hopes and dreams on a number you give them. But my general thesis is we will rally into year end. We will correct at some point. There's a bunch of hedge funds and RAAs and others who are into this who will need to take a bit of profits into year end. I think we'll get a bit of a shakeout, global liquidity slowing down somewhat, and then we should re-accelerate into the end of tax season. So my view is Bitcoin easily gets to 100 this year, and probably is 150 plus by March before it corrects again, and then we finish the year after a larger correction with a very strong rally into the end.
Real Vision CEO Raoul has dropped another bold prediction. Bitcoin is on track to skyrocket ET, potentially hitting $100,000 by the end of the year and soaring to $150,000 or beyond by March 2025. But that's not all. He foresees a pullback to around $80,000 or $100,000 before the market rebounds with even greater strength. And in a surprising twist, Powell predicts Solana will outperform Bitcoin, closing the year near $400, while Ethereum will rise to become the preferred platform for institutional investors, thanks to its widespread adoption. Now stepping back from the numbers Powell points to what's driving this movement, institutional investors, he explains, hold immense influence over Bitcoin's price as they rebalance their portfolios at year-end. The market could see turbulence, but this disruption might set the stage for Bitcoin's resurgence. For those navigating these wild waters, Powell offers a strategy: invest when the market feels weakest. It's not easy, liquidity can be tight, but it's where the biggest opportunities lie, with Bitcoin riding a bullish wave in the crypto ecosystem evolving rapidly. Powell's vision paints a thrilling picture of what's to come.
I've learned from being in this cycle for so long that really, if you can, when it just feels the worst, that's when you should be putting as much money in as you can. Obviously, it's also the hardest time because nobody's got money, because liquidity is being drawn out of the system, everyone's feeling the pinch, so it's actually hard to scrape pennies from under the sofa, but it is the best strategy of all because your gains compound so fast when you do it.
Well, I'm with you on that. I've learned that in my old age. I tell younger people, just nibble at things, make an investment every month, and don't look at it. Pay yourself first. But where's Bitcoin going to be 3-6 months, and then give me your 5-year outlook?
Yeah, I mean, I try not to give price projections, and I know you always pin them out of me, but the point being is, we're very public on social media, and it's just people pin their hopes and dreams on a number you give them. But my general thesis is we will rally into year end. We will correct at some point. There's a bunch of hedge funds and RAAs and others who are into this who will need to take a bit of profits into year end. I think we'll get a bit of a shakeout, global liquidity slowing down somewhat, and then we should re-accelerate into the end of tax season. So my view is Bitcoin easily gets to 100 this year, and probably is 150 plus by March before it corrects again, and then we finish the year after a larger correction with a very strong rally into the end. So that's how I think it plays out probabilistically.
So when you say a correction, we're at 150, it corrects back to 80?
Yeah, maybe something like that. Maybe less. Maybe 30% correction, so back down to 100. Kind of makes sense to me.
Right.
And it'll feel miserable, and people will say, has the cycle peaked, and all of that noise.
Right.
And then usually we end the second year after the presidential election cycle very strong, and then it peaks out sometime there. If I give a range of targets as opposed to pinpointing a target, worst case is 150, my base case is 250, and in an obscene bull market because everybody's buying, driven by a change of regulation, then it could go as high as 450.
Okay, let's go to Solana. I want to ask you the same questions related to Solana because I know you're a bull there.
Yeah, so I think Solana finishes this year closer to 400 than it is to 200. So I think
this year, 6 weeks ago,
maybe 350. I mean, it's a higher beta asset, so it should do better. So I expect that to happen. I think, again, it'll follow the same kind of price path as Bitcoin, but it should outperform all of the way. It's been in this consolidation versus Bitcoin, sideways consolidation. The next leg should be altcoin season, and Solana should be the king of the major alts. So I'm kind of expecting Solana from here to probably get to over 1,000, 1250, something like that.
All right, last one, Ethereum.
Ethereum has been a laggard. I think it plays some catch up. I think it outperforms Bitcoin going forwards for a bit, because if we sit back and look at what the regulatory changes might be, that is the platform upon which most of the institutions will start doing stuff. It's the Microsoft decision. Every bank has Microsoft computers, not Apple computers. So I think that Ethereum actually does better than most people expect going into the end of the year. Again, same price pattern, outperforms Bitcoin, Solana outperforms Ethereum. So it's the risk curve. So there's something going on with the economy, and I think it's because the Fed took so long to cut rates, because they were fighting the inflation demon of the past. They took too long, and that's kept a bulk of the economy slow. So if you translate that to the ordinary person, if you're running a sandwich shop in Manhattan, or you're running a dry cleaners in Chicago, you're not seeing the money come in yet. You're not seeing growth, your business grow. Now, the forward-looking indicators suggest we will get that, and we'll get strong growth coming forwards. But really, to get that business cycle turning, we still need the Fed to cut further.
Our pal's predictions reveal a transformative era for cryptocurrencies, signaling a shift in how they're adopted and utilize. Bitcoin's anticipated fluctuations, rather than being a sign of instability, reflect the natural cycles of a maturing market for savvy investors. These moments are golden opportunities to position themselves for future growth as institutions increasingly recognize the value and potential of digital assets. Commenting on broader economic topics, Powell dismisses claims about abolishing the Federal Reserve as impractical rhetoric. While the idea of integrating Bitcoin into national reserves is intriguing, he sees such moves as unlikely, though governments may explore creative ways to leverage seized assets. Powell further warns of the risks a strong dollar poses to global stability, emphasizing its potential to spark economic disruptions and deepen recessions. His observations offer not just predictions, but a roadmap to understanding the forces reshaping finance and technology. Let's go back to the interview and watch more.
No, I think that's all rhetoric to appease the libertarians. I don't think he wants to do that and can do that. I don't think the system is even ready for it yet. We don't know. Yeah, so I think not. I think that's more rhetoric than anything else.
Is Donald Trump going to put 1 million Bitcoins on the balance sheet of the United States, on the Federal Reserve balance sheet?
First, I think this is a bit of a red herring, because as the world's reserve currency, you don't need to hold reserves in anything else, right? So that's why the US doesn't hold a basket of euros and yen and other shit. It doesn't need to. It's the world reserve currency. So they don't actually need currency reserves or national reserves. They have a legacy of gold, of which we don't know how much is there. So the way to do this is probably to say, well, any Bitcoin or cryptocurrency that's been seized, we'll put it in the reserve. And that's a way of appeasing the crypto crowd without, there's no point to have a reserve. Maybe they do. Maybe they think that that's going to help them. But the worst thing it's going to do is just strengthen the dollar even further. And that is not good. A very strong dollar is a wrecking ball for the rest of the world. And without global trade and global demand, everyone goes through a recession. So you've got to kind of be careful of what you wish for.
You think there's a boom coming, right? There's a techno boom coming,
right? It's a techno boom, and it's unstoppable. And it's going to be so fast, we don't know how to deal with it.
Am I going to be taller as a result of this? No. Or is there a chance? No.
It might be possible. There is hope for you yet.
Hope for me yet. Okay.
Yeah, there is hope for you. There is hope for you yet.
I think that's why I have a little bit of jealousy towards you. It's not only you're good looking, but you're a tall son of a bitch. Okay, tell us about the exponential age. Go ahead.
So look, it's this nexus of all of these technologies all hitting adoption effects at the same time. You can see that in front of your eyes with crypto. That's what number go up. But AI, we can see that every 3 months is like a groundbreaking set of new models, whether it's video, audio, or just the models themselves or the applications of it. We're seeing the robots coming. We've seen the Optimus robots. We've seen the robots coming out of China. We're seeing Tesla cars. We're seeing, it's just endless. We're seeing Amazon employing more robots than humans now, and that's accelerating. Then we've got the biotechnology stuff. We've got Google with their AlphaFold, which is the AI based around predicting protein sequences and what that can do for humanity. We're seeing so much all happening at the same time. EV, I mean, nobody realizes because it becomes politicized, but solar growth, the growth of solar power is more than all of other energy generation added together and doubled. And people don't realize how fast this technology is moving as well, and how much the prices are coming down. So all of these things mean the price of compute is going lower, the price of energy and electricity will go lower over time. Nuclear can be thrown into that. And then you've got AI, which is driving exponential compute, which ends up with infinite human knowledge. All of these things are so disruptive, we can't get our heads around them. And it's quite difficult to invest in a lot of it. A lot of it is in VC hands or in these giant tech companies. So you've got this fastest growing technology in all history. What are you supposed to do? Buy Microsoft? Yeah, you might double your money or triple your money, but it's not really commensurate with that. So the crypto side of the equation, because the whole new internet is being built on crypto rails. I mean, the AI will have identity and we will have identity on chain. You know, many of the things you and I have talked about, the larger use of blockchain as a technology, well, that's front and center. So I actually think we've got 6 years, and this is quite contentious. I think we've got 6 years left to make as much money as we can before we don't understand how the economy works anymore. We've got, if an economy is driven by, if the economic trend rate of economic growth is driven by population growth plus productivity growth and debt growth.
Raoul Pal believes that the combination of aging populations, slower GDP growth, and the rise of endless robots and artificial intelligence will result in exponential growth. He believes that the introduction of artificial general intelligence will have a significant impact on financial markets. Pal recommends young people avoid traditional finance, which he believes is in decline as AI replaces human roles. Instead, he recommends looking into cryptocurrencies, which he sees as a rising trend with numerous potential. Raoul Pal emphasizes the importance of identifying and riding secular trends, drawing on his personal experience in the hedge fund industry. He observes that while he and others may have appeared clever, it was primarily owing to their ability to capitalize on rising trends. Pal also tells the story of Ross Perot, who warned that attending prestigious colleges can limit one's ability to take risks and think outside the box. Pal feels that being willing to take risks and think differently is critical for success. Despite the potential for instability in different industries, Pal feels it is not too late to invest in cryptocurrencies. He points out that the industry is still in its early phases with considerable development potential. Raoul Pal forecasts that the cryptocurrency market's worth will continue to rise dramatically, driven by increased acceptance and innovation. He also believes that the financial system will eventually run on cryptocurrency, rails with rapid settlement transfer payments, and central bank digital currencies all being constructed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get this bull run going.